Hey there, Starcraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of Starcraft 2 Legacy of the Void. From Home Story Cup 2019, it's going to be Solar versus Clem here on New Repugnancy, the Ladder Edition. Bottom left-hand corner is the young Terran player sporting red. It is Clem. He hails from the country of France. And in the top right, it is the Korean Zerg player sporting blue. It is Solar. He is not as young as Clem, but fairly young, but not by esports levels. Esports standards? Esports standards. Yeah. Okay, so ZVT here on New Repugnancy. Man, I love this matchup, and judging by the view numbers, this is your favorite matchup as well, statistically. If it's not, don't argue with me. That's what the stats say. Hatch first, 16 hatch. Out of Solar. Into an extractor. At around, I want to say, yeah, 18. 18 is about as high as he will go. Let's see. Let's see here if he's going to go extractor. Right, there it is, 18. 18 going down here, but close, well, close to that 200. So then the hat pool goes down here too. So timing here is a bit different than what I would do. I like to have, well, it's a bit greedier is what it is here. I'll usually go for like a 16 or a 17 extractor into a 17 or 16 pool, depending on the matchup here. Terran, I'm not as worried about early pressure. Protoss, I am. But here comes the Reaper. Reaper's name is Bob. Bob, the vengeful presidential ghost. Bob, the dead president of the Terran Dominion, learned his son Robert was killed by Mengsk. Bob's once peaceful ghost, filled with vengeance and possessed a Reaper, so he can get revenge on Emperor Mengsk. How Bob is supposed to get revenge on Mengsk and a Reaper is really anyone's guess. Yeah, that's fair, man. You remember the saga of Bob? Remember how Bob ran against Emperor Mengsk in an election, and then he was stuffed into a Reaper suit because Emperor Mengsk doesn't like being challenged, and then he survived the game? Wow. And then he survived again, you guys, and then he was killed, and now he's a ghost. And his son Robert was killed as well. Emperor Mengsk's bloodthirst knows no bounds. Alright, man. Reaper coming on in, and we're going to see the dance we've seen 300,000 times, it feels like. Doo-dee-doo-doo. I'm going to... hopefully I'll kill a Reaper here. A Reaper, say the Zerglings. Hopefully I'll kill a Zergling here, says the Reaper. Maybe I will. I don't know. Ah, the Queen popped out. My game is over. I'll check if there's a third base as long as I'm around. Yep, there's definitely a third base here from Solar. Nothing crazy there. I need ZVT to get mixed up, you guys. I am so tired of this opening. Nothing happens. Nobody dies. Did you get a creep tumor? I think you got a creep tumor. Nice. So creep tumor pickoff is about as exciting as this gets. Additionally, one Ling might possibly die here, but we never see drones die. It's just like, just dance around. We force the Lings out so that the Zerg player doesn't get 2 extra drones in this early stage of the game, which can snowball into a crazy effect and be very hard to deal with. Alright, man. Hellion follow-up here from Clem. Nothing too crazy. Clem, I like this kid. He's promising. He's maybe not as promising as Raynor is, who is a very young Italian player who's 17. I believe Clem is also 17. Not as promising as Raynor is, but still very, very good at StarCraft nevertheless. He has, man, he's gone toe-to-toe with Showtime. He's done well against other Korean players. I'm interested to see how this is going to work out. Solar is very nigh undefeatable in offline tournaments. Not offline, but just like smaller tournaments where you're not actually in the same place as the people you're playing against. He's amazing. Like, he has won, I think, 7 or 8 Africa Worlds, which I cast, by the way, out on africatv.com/laughingames with Laughin' Games about every other week here. July, we took off. We're going to start up in August again. But we get players like Solar, man. And Solar has the world record in the most tournaments he's won there. And this is not like easy stuff, man. We're talking about players like Creature. We're talking about players like MC has shown up. We're talking about people like Innovation has been around there. Maru has shown up from time to time. I mean, it is big time players, man, as this Hellion harass happens here. So Solar is no slouch. Solar is actually abjectly terrifying, but Clem, young and up and coming, eager to prove himself in the situation, I feel like can do pretty well here. The Queen positioning has just been insane from Solar, though. He's just absolutely refusing to allow the Hellions to get in here without taking several shots from Queens, and the Queens are body blocking too. Baneling Nest on the way from Solar. He's going for a lair here, sitting at 47 workers at 5 minutes. And here comes a drop. That's a Hellion drop. This is a lot of Hellions for somebody who's going bio. Is this what we're doing here? Man, he is not actually teching all that much at all. Ooh, the armory's coming up, though. This is going to be a Hellbat drop. Oh, I've died to this. I have died to this before. Ladies and gentlemen, this very build, you basically push with the Hellions into the natural base, transform them into Hellbats, and then drop Hellbats in the main at the same time. I have not been able to hold this ever. It's happened to me maybe 3 times, and it's really hard to do. Ready for this action? Hellbat transformation. And now the medic vacs can heal us up. And we're going to go ahead and roast anything that tries to come over here. The drones cannot harvest from this area at all. There's a spore crawler, but meh? I mean, maybe you could try to kill it so that your medevac doesn't die. Meanwhile, Hellbats are at the 3rd base, causing some problems over there, too. So the medevac dies, which is a bit of a problem here for Clem. The Queens are doing pretty well in the situation where there's only 3 Hellbats inside the main base. The drones are getting pulled. This is a lot of lost mining time, but only 7 drones have gone down. Basically, I lost everything in this attack when it came at me. Man, those Hellbats just finally get cleaned up inside the main base. Still here, by the way. At the 3rd, the drones get pulled again. This is so much lost mining time. The positioning is disgusting out of this Hellbat here. The Lings don't want to deal with that action. Queens have to come over to deal with it. And they do, and the Viking dies as well. So 9 drones go down. A lot of lost mining time there out of Solar. It is 49 to 51 workers. Clem was doing a great job macroing back home. And he is definitely going bio. Okay, I was worried for a second there. It was just a Hellbat attack into bio here. Which obviously he could have gone into mech if he wanted to, but at this stage he threw down a ton of barracks during that attack while microing on the other side of the map. And if you're ever wondering why you're not a professional Starcraft player, it's because can you do that? Can you micro Hellbat drops in 2 separate locations against Solar and build a ton of barracks and engineering bays and stuff back home at the same time while continuing to pump out SCVs? I can't. I am not capable of that. And partially because I don't play Terran. But even if I did play Terran, I wouldn't be capable of that. That was insanely well executed. I'm loving what I'm seeing out of Clem here. Solar, though, the longer you leave him alone, the more scary he gets. He's making 9 banelings. He's going for centrifugal hooks here. His lair's obviously done. He's going for double gas here at the natural base. His 4th base is now getting started here while the 3rd base is landing for Clem. So Clem doing a good job economically keeping up with the Zerg player. Again, intimidatingly, Solar is really good at Starcraft. But, I don't know. The reactions here from Clem, the pressure he's been putting on is pretty nice. Banelings are in position to defend this base. Is he going to stim in and try to get it? He is, but there are banelings right there. They don't have speed yet. Oh, wow. Forcing a cancel. Ling's cruising on up to the 3rd base. No, says a tank and a handful of Marines. Boy. Scan. Get that tumor. It'd be so nice to get that tumor. Oh, Clem not scanning, though. He's got 3 orbital commands, though. This 3rd base is not a planetary, and that worries me a lot. Oh, he did get him. He's going for tumors now, man. Tumor, and then pull back. He's not getting greedy. I love this out of Clem. It's like, I got rid of your 4th base. I'm going to kill a couple tumors, and I'm going to pull out. I'm not going to lose as much as you want me to lose here. The Solar throws up a replacement 4th base here in between is his 3rd and his natural. Meanwhile, drops moving out. Wall of supply depot is protecting the 3rd base against Ling run-bys. Not so good against banelings as it turns out. That's a lot of Zerglings, man. Oh, nice pickup on the tank and saving it, though. Oh, this is problematic. Just pick up and run. There we go. Pick up and run. You can't save everyone. He thought about it. He tried, but he failed miserably. That's okay. He saved most of the people. He doesn't have any empty slots in his medevacs, which is kind of what I feel like the measurement is here. If you still have empty slots in your medevacs, you failed at saving your people. If you're full up, then that's all you can do. Again, just another push over here, killing some tumors, picking up, getting on out of there. There's got to be an answer here to these medevacs, and the answer so far is, well, infestation pit, I guess. So there's no Spire, there's no Hydralisk Den, it's just Ling, Baneling, Queen with an infestation pit coming in here. Creeps were still kind of insane. A drop attempt in the main base is sniffed out quite nicely by Solar. That gets shut down. Creep spread is pushing, man. I mean, Clem's doing an okay job, but this map is not very big, and as a result, this tumor count is kind of nuts. Banelings, though! Yoink! And the Banelings are like, hey, don't you want to land? No. All right, that's fine. Unloading on the high ground here. Clem is being super active, and so is Solar. All over the map here. Pushing on and trying to get a tumor, trying to kill some Zerglings, but there are Banelings here, and there are some decent hits there. Some wasted Banelings there out of Solar, but that's okay. Again, just keeping the pressure on, forcing Solar to make Lings and Banelings now when he'd rather be making drones. Pretty good target fire and a decent pickup there, not the best of all time. And Solar just has drop prevention in most places here on the map. His 4th base is done. His 5th base is about halfway complete here. Clem's 4th base is landing here. This is better Better be a planetary fortress is all I can say about that. Hive on the way here from Solar. I want to learn this style. I want to learn the style of Ling Bei Ling Queen into 10 minutes in this game. Like, that's all he has. He's got an infestation pit, but just for a hive. He doesn't need anything else to survive here against a player as good as Clem. Like, that just is... How is mystery, is a mystery to me, for sure. Yeah. Anyway, I mean, this Marine... There you go. Tank's firing. That's what you want to see here. Clearing out some creep tumors, pushing the Zerg player back, pushing the creep back very nicely, but that's 100 creep tumors coming up right there. These guys are just out of reach of these spores and hiding. That's a lot of banelings, though. And that's a pickup situation, boy. Nope. All right. Well, everybody dies then. That's fine. Everybody dies. Engagement at the front here. Ling Bei Ling doing very, very well for itself. Trying to come up this left side, but nah. The tanks are too good. Too many tanks here, but just keeping the pressure up on Clem. That 4th base is a planetary fortress. Thank goodness for him. And Solar's sitting on 5 bases. He's probably going to expand up this way here, too. It's just Clem is everywhere with these drops, but after canceling that 4th base, he really hasn't done much other than killing some tumors. Maybe killing some Marines here, too. Oh, this is just a wipeout right here. All right, well, tanks are gone. And Solar's not going to get greedy. He's like, you know what? I'm going to kill 2 tanks. Pull back. Wait for my Ultralisk Cavern and my Spire to finish while I'm like 42 Zerglings with Adrenal Glands on the way. 2-2 here, man. I mean, I don't want to say... I don't know if I should say this, but kind of feels like Solar is playing with his food a little bit. Just a little bit. I mean, Clem, he's trying to do stuff. He really is. He's finally pushing with tanks, but at 12 minutes, it just feels too late. There are Ultralisks on the field, ladies and gentlemen. Well, in eggs anyway. Does that count as being on the field? Queen dies. I like the Marauders in the mix here to absorb some of those Baneling shots. Tank setup in range of that hatchery. And you know what? This hatchery is going to go down. So Solar going to lose a base. Problematic for him. Viper's going to Blinding Cloud, though. Check this action out. Ready to go. Coming on over, Blinding Cloud on top of everything here. The Ultralisks on top of the tanks. There are some tanks back here too, but they're not in great position here, and the Zerg Swarm just marches through all of that. Queens at the front lines for transfuses too, if necessary. Medevacs flying over those Queens. One of them gets picked off by the Queen anti-air. Tank fire on those okay, those Banelings, I'm not sure where they're trying to go, but they are all dead now. So, I don't know, Clem 168 to 175 supply is expanding to the left side here too. His expansion timings have been fine. Solar's got another base coming up here in the bottom right-hand corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I guess 5th base died here, but it's on its way back because Solar is a good StarCraft 2 player, it turns out. Corruptor's on the way. As Corruptor's to deal with the Medevacs. I mean, we could see a Greater Spire here at some point too, but we don't have that at the moment. Also, Anabolic Synthesis on the way, giving Ultralisks a speed boost off creep. They're as fast on creep as they're going to be, but once they're off creep, that speed boost kicks in so they don't slow down as much as they would off creep normally, is the idea there. Clem maxed out. Solar maxed out. I mean, we've got Liberator production here, working on advanced ballistics at the same time. Some drones died. Where? I don't know. Were they up here maybe? I didn't see a drop of any kind, but 2 drones are dead. And Solar doesn't want to directly engage with this. This is pretty good stuff out of Clem. Clem is sitting on 2-2 with 3-3, about 50% complete. His upgrade timings are not as good as they otherwise could be. Tank, only 1 tank here, though. I don't know about this. Tank's getting some nice parting shots on those Ultras, though. And look, he really wants to kill this hatchery, if at all he can. And by golly, he might get it. Just because Solar seems a little bit, there we go, a little bit indecisive. Now he's going for it. Corruptor's on top of the Medevacs. Lings and Ultras on top of all of the tanks and the bio. Reinforcing units are coming in here. Liberator setting up shop. Nope, Corruptor kills that thing quite nicely. And another, this tank has 5 kills, just crushing through right now. He dies as soon as I bring attention to him because I cursed him that way. And engagement in the middle here. Knight is coming up inside the main base of Solar. Does he see it is the question. I don't know if he does. He's microing really hard at the front right now, trying to deal with these Corruptors. He's got some units that could be able to deal with this worm, but there's your eruption. Here come the Zerglings. And yeah, the units do actually come back to try to deal with this, and they're going to be able to. One add-on maybe is going to die, and maybe not even that. Yeah, that's the problem with Nidusing at the late game versus Terran. They've got units constantly popping out of their production facilities, so it's fine. Corruptors are just winning the day here for Solar. Liberators dying instantly. Medivacs getting killed as soon as they get in range. This is why I like Corruptors in TVZ, and I have for a very long time. They're really good against Liberators. They're really good against Medivacs. They're not as flimsy as Mutalisks are. Sure, they can attack the ground, but that's what the Lings and Banelings and Ultras are for. Anyway, another nice coming up here from Solar. Maybe you can throw some Fear of Zerg into Clem's heart there a bit. But see, another Medivac goes down. Resources lost, 19,000 for Solar, 16,000 for Clem. Planetary Fortress is exposed. We're going to say that. There are some tanks coming over to help defend it. Is Solar going to come in is the question. Attacks in the middle here doing some work. Oh, there are some ghosts in the mix here too. Steady targeting could be used on the Ultralisks. Attack on into Clem's 5th base though. Tanks firing, actually making this happen for Clem. There's no, oh, the Banelings on the SCVs are the problem, but otherwise he's okay. Engagement in the middle going Solar's way once again though. The Corruptors are just, they're not worried about anything, man. They're flying over Marines. They're flying over Marauders, especially. Just pushing Clem back over and over and over and over. This base does survive. The SCVs need to get back to work here. Broodlords in production from Solar. He's following up. The Ultras are not doing it for him here. So 7 Broodlords in production. What's the response going to be here from Clem? He's making a Liberator, which is nice. Clem's down to 168 total supply. He did end up losing again several drones during that 5th base attack. And Solar hasn't expanded for a while, and I don't know, I'm not sure if he needs to necessarily. He is 187 supply. Steady targeting, and here come the Broodlords. Now, steady targeting, one steady targeting actually gets off there, but when there are this many Lings and Banelings and Broodlings, it's hard to get anything channeled. And that's what that steady targeting ability is here. Marines going after a base in the bottom right. Meanwhile, the Broodlords pulling back. They don't want to engage off creep in this situation. Oh gosh, get the hatch. The steady targeting. Well, the stutter stepping actually does take down that hatch. Clem being everywhere the Broodlords cannot be. A nuke in production from Clem. Okay, this game is getting interesting. I am on board with this right now. Solar trying to get in here, not really working out for him. The Broodlords are flying off creep now. 3 Vikings at a time in production. Currently none with his army, which seems like a problem, and +2 air weapons getting researched. Yeah, what is your answer going to be to these Broodlords? I guess, yeah, Viking? Vikings here, steady targeting, trying to do stuff too. This is a really awkward position from Clem. He's kind of stuck. That's good against the Lings, I suppose. Tanks, some of them are in siege mode, others are not. The Ghosts are getting target fired here by the Broodlords. That's a really nice job there. The Queens are transfusing everything right now. A Liberator does set up on the other side of the map and try to get some stuff done there by killing 4 drones, but this attack does not look like it's going to go anywhere for Clem. Solar is crushing through right now. Planetary Fortress trying to hold. The tanks are staying alive longer than I thought they would, but they're all gone now. Army supply 58 to 90. The Broodlord showed up. The Viking count was not high enough to handle it at all in any sense. And the fact that there were Queens up here helping transfuse those Broodlords was just not fair. The Corruptor count is high. Not too high, but high enough to handle the Vikings that are coming out of here of Clem. And we're going to see a GG here real soon as this base is getting desperately repaired. But the Banelings are too much. The Planetary Fortress goes down. And Clem fought a valiant battle, but he is done right now. That base is dead. Good game. Well played, says Clem. Solar gets the win in 18 minutes and 43 seconds. Yeah, Clem, he has the right ideas. He does. He knows how to play the game, obviously. He was all over the place with those drops. Forcing a cancel on that 4th base was huge for him, but didn't really kill another base until it didn't really matter. And if you're going to kill a Zerg player like Solar, you got to kill more than 21 drones. You need to do drops that Solar doesn't see coming. You need to be dropping inside the main base. You need to be sniping off tech. It's not happening. It just didn't happen there. The reaction times from Solar was too good. The creep spread was too good, despite Clem's attempts to kill the tumors. He did kill 43 tumors, which is nice. Handled the drop inside his main base too, or the Nidus inside his main base pretty darn well too. But in the end there, 34,000 resources lost for Clem and 34,000 for Solar. And if you have even resources lost in a ZVT, it's a bad feeling. Is what it is. All right. Good stuff, man. Good stuff by both of these players. And, yeah, just Clem didn't have an answer for the Broodlords. It's just going to be Vikings, ghosts. He had ghosts, but not nearly enough of them, and not nearly enough Vikings. And Solar just did really well with his compositional choices. Just enough Corruptors to snipe off, Medevacs and Liberators and Vikings if they show up. Queens here to transfuse the Broodlords. Had some Lings and Banelings in the mix there too to help snipe off these bases here at this 4th base location from Clem. And overall, just really well played. The defense was insane. Clem did not make it easy for Solar. Did not make it easy at all. He was dropping everywhere. I don't know if there's anywhere that didn't get attacked at some point by Clem, which really nice. That is how you beat a Zerg player. The response time from Solar was too good in most situations. And I guess this hatch did get sniped too, huh? So one hatchery canceled, and two hatcheries killed. Okay. All right, Clem. I'm liking what we're seeing here. I really am. And I'd like to see more from you as you keep getting better and keep improving at this game. So keep it up. But for now, and for today, that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch. All at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.